What's it like to be dyslexic, dyscalculic, and directionally challenged? Well, I'll tell you. I can't tell left from right. Of course, I know which hand is the left hand and which hand is the right hand, but for some reason, I often look at the wrong hand when I go left. See, when I said left hand, right hand, I held out my right hand and then my left hand. So my brain mixes them up, even though I know that my right hand is on my right side and my right side is on the right and my left side is on the right. My brain just like goes whichever way it wants to tell me that which way is left and which way is right. So if I'm driving and someone says take a right turn, I might think that everything in my body and my brain just is saying that, oh, of course, left is to the right, right? I don't know. So that's what that's like. And so if I'm driving, or if you have somebody that you know that's driving that doesn't know directions, whatever, well, you know what I mean, can't tell left from right, but can, but also can't at the same time, I'm going to interject here from the future and say what I was trying to say there and then went off on a different direction. Was I was trying to say if you have somebody that you know that can't tell left from right, or they can, but they can't, then you should tell them turn that way. So say that way instead of saying turn left or turn right, because you'll save yourselves a lot of wrong turns. All right, bye. What it is it takes longer. So you can train yourself out of that because I had like an app where it was like, what was that called? I don't know. The thing where like you swipe it up and the box turns or whatever. And this is like a fun game, but I found that I got obsessed with that game, and then I got a lot better at like left and right because I could think quicker to realize which hand was right and which was left. So I was doing it in under a second, so then that was good. But I deleted that app and I haven't used it in a couple years, so I don't know. People don't. It's not very often that like somebody tells you to ask you about something in the left or right, but when it does come up, it makes you look stupid because somebody goes, "Oh, it's the Christmas tree is on the right," and then you point to the left, and they're like, "No," and you're like, "Sorry, I'm dyslexic." I don't know. That doesn't have to do with dyslexia, that's like a different thing, but like it's grouped together. Like people with dyslexia can also have that, but it doesn't mean that a dyslexic person does. So I guess we'll talk about dyslexia and then dyscalculia now. Or I guess you could talk about dyscalculia first. I don't know. Under pressure, I cannot do math. I cannot at all. So, and then also, even if I'm not under pressure, um, math just doesn't make any sense. so so you can imagine like let's go for example, go back to when I was in grade 7 and the math teacher points at me and goes, Angela, and then he says a simple thing like, I don't know, like 4 times 2 or something like that, and I was just sitting there frozen like like literally my voice shaking, and I'm just sitting there. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna say because I was like, I can't do math under pressure, like any pressure at all. And then my brain just like blanks, and the math, like the numbers mix up, and the numbers don't make any sense, and they switch with other numbers, and you just get so like you're just, and then like you're frozen because you're like people are looking at me, and anyways, I can't do math under pressure. And then if I'm just doing math on my own, without pressure, it takes longer than it would for someone else to do math. And then, so that's that about dyscalculia. And then also, like, if I'm doing it quick, like, even if it's not under pressure, if it's just like I'm trying to do math quickly, I'll switch the numbers, like with dyslexia, but with dyscalculia. So I'll switch, let's say it's like 2,242 times 2,442, or whatever number I said. I don't know, because I mix the numbers up, and then I might switch them, and then I do the whole calculation. The number is wrong. The math is correct, but the number that I wrote is wrong when I'm writing it out, or one of the numbers, or a couple of the numbers, and then that messes up the whole calculation because I wrote down the calculation wrong. But even if the calculation is correct, like so it wouldn't like the answer is incorrect. But yeah, so that's that. That's what I don't like the most about it. And no, actually, you know what? I can deal with that. What I don't like the most is that I just don't understand math. Like if let's say I'm back in school and the grade my grade 8 or grade 9 teacher for math is like trying to teach me something, like, or even like grade 4 or whatever grade, I always just like the concepts don't come naturally to me. It just like it goes in one ear and out the other, and it goes through my brain and it comes back out the same as it went in. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like it's like at least if it was a foreign language, you can go, oh yeah, this means this, so this means that. But with math, it's like not even a different language. It's like looking at music notes. Like there's another thing with dyslexia, or maybe that's dyslexia and dyscalculia together. I don't really know, but like when reading sheet music, I was in band for 3 years, and I never learned sheet music. I just played by ear, and I got along fine. I played amazing. I'm not trying to like, I don't know, say something about myself, but yes, I am trying to say something about myself. I was great at the clarinet, and you can believe that or not, whatever. I don't know. But I couldn't read sheet music at all. Well, I could, but I just used like, if I knew, let's say for sure I knew where C was. That's basically the only note I knew where it was, and maybe like A. And like I knew a couple where the notes were. C is the only note that I definitely knew where it was because it looked different than all the other ones. And basically I just used the way the notes looked on the paper as a guideline, and memorized the song in my head. So then that's how I played that, and I just pretended to do the scales. So I never really learned the scales, but I always like just listened to the clarinet beside me and just went by that. Um, and it worked fine until the band. Like there was a point in grade 9 where there was no other clarinet players. Like everyone else had quit or switched classes by the end of that year. So I was the only clarinet in my class, even though there was other clarinets in the French class, which is like French and English were together for the for band. But like when you're on your individual class, like the French class might be in a different class, and I was in English, so while you were there, like there was no like other clarinet players at that time anymore, like during school hours. Like, but the morning practice there would be. So I didn't know the scales without having another clarinet beside me to like go off of. So I was like, um, I was just pretending that I was, and then the band teacher realized. He was like, "Hey, come to the side for a second." He's like, he took me out of the room. He's like, he asked me to take like my scribbler with me or whatever it was, not scribbler, but you know what I mean, the thing where you keep your music in, and he was like. He pointed to one. He's like, "Can you read sheet music?" And I was like, I started crying, and I was like, and I was like, my eyes were full of tears. And he pointed at one of the notes on it, and he goes, "What note is this?" And then I go, I go, "See?" And my eyes are all blurry, and they're getting more and more blurry because they're so full with tears, and I didn't want to like wipe them away. I don't know. I guess I thought it would have been less embarrassing if I had just wiped them away, but it wouldn't have mattered because I couldn't read them anyways. And he points to the next one, and I'm just guessing, and I'm just guessing all these notes, crying. My voice is fucked. I'm like, I don't know. So then, yeah, so yeah, anyways. My mark, I just recently found my old what's it called, like, where they give you like the 3 times of the year they give you the marks of whatever. Anyways, but I had a 33 and like a 30 something, and then at the end of the year I had like a 60 something because I hadn't been passing in my scales online or skills online or whatever you call it. It's like when you take a video of yourself doing a scale on it, and then you pass in the skill, and then they put that towards marks. But since I couldn't read it, I was just like, well, I can't read any of this. So then I just never sent them in. And then at the end of the year, I practiced a whole bunch, and I got them in my head, and then I sent in a whole bunch of them, but it was the end of the year, so I couldn't, like, I didn't have enough time to send in all of them. And then our internet, like, quit or something, or we had to get rid of it and to get a different one, or I don't remember what happened. We didn't have internet, so then I was, like, uploading them from the school internet, which, you know, that's a good way to get the school password. But anyways, yeah, so I didn't get them all in, but you know what? A 60 something is better than a 30. So, I don't know. I really miss band though. It was fun. It's the, you know, some of my best memories are to look back and think about that I was in concerts and shit like that. Like that was cool. But where was I? I wasn't talk. Why am I talking about this? Anyways, dyslexia. I can't read sheet music, although I would like to teach myself some point. I'm thinking of learning piano or something, and then that would probably help me learn it. I don't know, but it shouldn't be too hard to pick up. But the problem is that it just, when I look at it, it just looks. It doesn't look like a language, if you know what I mean. Like a language, if you look at it, it looks like a language, whereas math and music notes, they don't look like language. They just they look. When I look at it, I don't know. Anyways, it's like dyslexia, but like in a different way. It's worse. Like math and music, it's like worse. I'd rather just use my brain for it. Anyways, but yeah, math, it just doesn't make any sense to me. The concepts, I just don't get it. And then let's go to dyslexia. Uh, I never got like a diagnosis for anything ever because, you know, I don't know, that's just how my family rolls or whatever you want to call it. They don't really believe in going to the doctor unless it's like a physical thing that you can see. So I never got a diagnosis for like anything. So even though there's like lots of things I probably should have, like depression and shit like that, but you know what? I don't care. I worked through everything by myself on my own. I'm doing okay, I think. I don't know. But all right, so let's talk about dyslexia. I was what? I don't know. I feel like somebody should have noticed. And also, if there's dyslexia in the family, shouldn't you like, I don't know, do something about that instead of never tell me that I had dyslexia and then I just had to figure it out on my own? I don't know. Anyway, so I was in school and I didn't know how to read. So I was just basically pretending that I knew how to read and fooling everybody, and the teachers all believed it, whatever, anyways. But I was memorizing books instead of reading them. So let's say somebody reads you a story and you're in grade one, and it's like, you know, easy to read. It's like the fat cat jumps on the log or whatever. And, you know, it's just from one end of the book to the other. It's not very long. I don't know. But from grade one until like, I don't know, grade two or three, I didn't know how to read, but like I was tricking people into thinking I could read by memorizing the books. Because if you read it to me and then I just memorized it, and then so then I read it back by looking at like which words would, which part of the story goes with which picture on what page, whatever. That's how I went by it. So they figured that out after I, like, our family went on vacation or whatever. So then we were living somewhere else for like, I don't know, like 4 months or more. I don't know. For like my sister's health, but like, so when I came back with a southern accent and a not knowing how to read. So they were like, because I forgot the material, because you can't remember that forever. I forgot the books. I forgot the material. So then they were like, she doesn't know how to read. So then my parents were like, what? She doesn't know how to read? They put me to like, they took me into some room and they had like this, eye test thing, you know, the thing, like the great big, with all the letters on it. And they're like, read these. And I was looking at it and I'm thinking, I can see everything and the B's and B's are switched. I don't know what to tell you, but I didn't say that. I just was reading it and I don't know. I read it perfectly fine, so they're like, okay, well, her eyes are fine. What's wrong with her? She can't read. um, so if I could read the letters, but I couldn't read books. So anyways, I was put into um like a, what's it called, a tutor thing or whatever. So I went there like a couple times a week or once a week or something like that. And I don't know, I guess that helped a lot. I don't remember really much about it. I went there from grade like 3, grade 4, grade 3 and grade 4 at least, maybe grade 5. I don't really remember if how many years I went to it, but I don't know. Maybe till grade 6, but I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it was grade 3 and grade 4 that I went to that. And then I was fine pretty much reading and stuff like that, because grade 4 is when I got into reading books, because I was like, hey, you know what? Books are actually kind of cool. I was like, what's this book about this mouse? I was like, what? That's cool. I don't know. So I started reading, um, because the class, they made you like your teacher said, like you had to read like this book, whatever, log it in or whatever. Everybody had to. So I actually enjoyed reading after that, like, because I don't know, I just thought the books. I found out the books could be fun, so I started reading like books like The Wolves of the Beyond. Started reading those in like grade 5. Grade 5 and 6 is when I read those. Those were good. And the Warrior Cats books, I read those in grade like 5 and 6, maybe grade 4 too. I'm not sure. Those were all really good books. So stuff like that. And Diary of the Wimpy Kid, I think that was in like grade 4 that I read those. Um, yeah, so I got like an interest in books then, thanks to grade 4 teacher. But let's see. Cursive writing. I cannot write in cursive. I can, like, I never really picked it up that good, but like, well, let me see, like an example. Like, I know some of the letters, but I don't know all the letters. Um, like, it's just harder for me to pick up something and just, like, understand it. But, like, if I spent some time now, I'm sure I could go back over it and learn the rest of cursive, right? And I can make out cursive by, like, just guessing what it is when I read it, if I read cursive writing. But, like, for example, to learn how to make a signature for my name, I looked up the letters in my name for that, some of them or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah. So then let's go back to dyslexia. Um, I don't know. I guess I was in the stupid classes for like for math and um, yeah, I was in the stupid classes for math from grade 4 and no, actually, you know what? I was in stupid classes for English in my younger grades for like primary school, but then also in after that I wasn't in the stupid classes for English anymore. I was in stupid classes for math because I guess they realized that I suck at math. I don't know. So it's not that it's stupid classes, it's just, kids that have a little bit more takes a little bit more time to understand the concepts. Anyways, but I was in those classes for like the math ones with like a different teacher. It's like a classroom of like 5 people because there's not many people that can't do math. But anyways, I still can't remember the simple math that they taught me back then. But it's nice that they took the kids out of the classroom to teach them that. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. Um, let's see. All right, let's skip to grade 7. That's when I started reading on Wattpad. I started reading all those stupid werewolf books and stuff. And it was actually very good that a friend introduced me to Wattpad because of Wattpad, I literally, I'm not gonna say cured my dyslexia, but I like pretty much like eradicated any problems I had with it, any more problems I had left with it. So like I got great at spelling because I started writing on Wattpad. Um, it was just awesome. I don't know. I wrote like Naruto fan fictions and stuff like that. But anyways, I just was so immersed into all these books, all these like fan fictions and books and like fiction and all this weird stuff about like werewolves. But I don't know, it was like really good because I can write, I can spell. I'm great at spelling now because you learn as you go when you're a writer, when you're writing or whatever. I'm not gonna say I'm a writer. I'm not like professional or anything, but it's just kind of interesting. So, um, I'm still bad at math because I never ended up getting a liking to math. I never ended up like loving math the way that I love writing, and the way that I love reading. But let's see. Like if I spent more time on math, I guarantee that I'd be better at math. But it's just so hard for me to grasp any concept of anything in math that it would just take too much time. But let's say for example, let's talk about something else. Dyslexia. Okay, so I'm trying to learn Japanese, and it's just more so just like on and off, random whatever. And I don't know why, but I'm stupid, so I thought that would mean that I wouldn't be dyslexic in a different language, but it was like starting all over again because all these hiragana and katakana, the lexicon of Japanese, they literally have dyslexia with that too. It's like starting back over with English. So I still switch those up. I still switch the wrong ones with the wrong ones and stuff. Because there's so many that look similar, and the only difference is like a little circle or a little comma or a quotation. That's the only difference between ones and other ones. So then that's kind of tricky. But I think I'm gonna do good with kanji though, because apparently every astronomer, basically almost all of them, the majority of astronomers are dyslexic, and it has to do with if you're dyslexic, you're better at remembering patterns. So I'm going to assume that I am going to do really good at remembering kanji, but I can't guarantee that, and I don't know if that's really going to happen. So I'm just hoping on that. So I don't know. I've been avoiding learning more because I'm just like, I don't know. Anyways, the way that I learn things is that I take something and I make a story for it. So like, for me to learn something new, I make a story with it. So if I'm gonna learn how to say forest in kanji, or how to write forest in kanji, I'm gonna remember a way to look at that, and then it's in my brain. It's like, it looks like trees, so that's how I remember it's forest. And so yeah, so sometimes it's more of an elaborate story if there's like a whole bunch of lines, and I'm coming up with like, maybe there's a guy and that's a bucket and that's a this and a that, and this guy's doing this thing. The way that I learned hiragana and katakana is actually kind of funny, especially the hiragana, because like, I don't know, it's just such an effective way to memorize if you remember things by things that you already know. So if the letter H-I looks like a penis, then I'm going to remember he as he. And if she looks like a boob, I'm going to remember she as she. That's how that I'm going to relate those in my brain. And I will do a whole video on that, explaining and showing exactly how you can remember all the hiragana. So it was nice having my first video with you, although it's not my first video ever, but you know what I mean. It's my first video on this channel, and I am very excited to press this button and get this over with, because I'm done talking to you. Bye!
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
That doesn't make sense.